How's it going, everybody? Nick Daniels here, and we're going to be talking about a movie I just saw last night. So this is Solo. It's the Han Solo story, which actually, ironically, I guessed what it was going to be about with a friend I watched it with. We were talking about that just before we got into the movie. But before I go any further, we're going to talk about spoilers, and we're going to ruin things. So, like, just kind of, yeah, whatever. Understand that's coming. And I'm sorry if I'm a little tired. I'm actually quite fucking exhausted, to be honest. Just a little bit of mental stuff going on right now. A little bit of health issues, I guess you would call them. I don't really know how to word it, but needless to say, I'm trying to get some energy here because I'm actually kind of pissed. This movie, by far, was not bad. It, again, is not one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Just like The Last Jedi, I think this one even started out a little weird. The way that they did it, because I like that they do it when the movies normally start. You know, it's not the yellow text that scrolls, like, because it's on its own, right? Like, it doesn't. They're not copying that, which is nice. But like the text that came up, which is, I don't know, it's like it already looked a little cheesy. And in the very beginning, I noticed there's like some references, like he whips out the thermal detonator and holds it, but it's actually a rock. That was kind of funny. There was a bunch of comedic parts that I felt like we didn't need. A lot of these movies are tending to do this now. They tend to do this stupid thing where they think that just straight up comedy is the way to go, like just comedy. And I don't really believe that's the way to do it. You know, Rogue One did it really well because they had straight up action, right? And they had a good story, and, you know, yada yada. Now, this is about the Kessel Run. So the Kessel Run is they're basically getting this substance that can, like, power a fleet. Like a little speck of that apparently can power like a fucking fleet. And they're basically going to sell it off. So this is Han Solo kind of getting into his career as a smuggler. And it's interesting, like, he meets a girl that obviously is what's starting up the resistance at that point. Emilia Clarke's one of the main actors in this movie. I know her mainly from Game of Thrones as Daenerys, or the Khaleesi. I think she's a great actress, but I didn't really... there's a part of her role we're going to talk about here in a second that I really didn't like. But overall, I thought she was like a decent character, but I don't feel like she actually did too much to the actual story or the mission itself that they were doing. I don't find she really helped out all that much. She was kind of useless to bring along, but I mean, maybe they had the reasons. But anyway, it's funny, after there's like a whole betrayal and a betrayal and a betrayal, she comes out at the end, and I'm gonna hone in on this a lot. I really hated this scene because she comes onto like the fucking the hologram, or the holograms there, and yeah, you can obviously communicate with somebody, and she fucking communicates with Darth Maul. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm a Star Wars fan. I've watched like the Clone Wars, you know, I've watched a little bit of Star Wars Rebels, so I know that Darth Maul survived. If you haven't watched any of that, I guarantee you wouldn't have known he even lived. So that probably would have made no fucking sense. But they do have a good tendency to show the metal legs there, so obviously that people could probably clue in that somehow he lived. But it was definitely kind of confusing even for me. And at one point he tries to look like menacing, so he fucking pulls out the lightsaber like this and ignites it like top down like that. And I'm telling you, I have to be honest, I think it looked really stupid. Other people might say that was really cool, because he did look a lot older in there, obviously. But, and like, I don't know, again, like, he's supposed to be menacing, but oh my god, man, I wasn't feeling it at all. Like, that whole scene, I was cringing. It almost looked like somebody who was directing this movie just said that'd be kind of cool to put in, and they put it in. I don't know, that one was really odd for me, and I didn't really like that. But I liked Han's and Chewie's, you know, initial, you know, what would you call that? Their initial meetup, I guess. And then, of course, the whole movie, like, they're the main cast, is those two guys, right? It is them, right? They take over the show. And the action in it was really good. There was a scene, I have to say, that I fucking fell in love with right away, and I wish it was longer. But it was when Han comes, he's supposed to be a pilot, but they actually get him on the ground at one point, running in as a soldier. And oh my god, man, like, he's in the fucking, literally in the trenches, and they're dropping ATSTs in right beside him, and that was cool. That was really cool. Like, that's like the itty gritty that you don't see, and that was really awesome. And I think they were just fighting, like, not rebels, but like not the resistance at that, obviously, but they were fighting, like, obviously some type of rebels on a planet or something. And he tells them, he's like, oh, we're the intruders, like, we're invading their planet, right? Is what we're doing. But either way, that was really cool. They had a couple cool shots in there that I really liked. And the flying was pretty cool. There's another scene I really like. I'm just gonna talk about what I really liked about the movie. There's a scene where they go basically into some, like, I would call it like a gas giant, but it's supposed to be like, it's when the Star Destroyer is coming at them. You'll see it in the trailer. It's coming at them through this, like, basically cloudy looking tunnel they're in, like, out in space, which again is like these lightning storms and stuff. Like, basically you want to stay in the clear part of that. And yeah, a fucking Star Destroyer flies through, and they got some TIE fighters chasing them, and the classic music comes on, and they're flying through all the mess, like the lightning and shit, and the asteroids and the fucking destroyed ships, and that part's really cool. And like, it also shows how the Millennium Falcon got so beat up looking because of that. And again, this is the Kessel Run that he does, that he always brags about in the movies. So I thought that was really cool. There was even a line, like, he's got, like, he says, I have a good feeling about this. Every other movie, someone's always saying, I've got a really bad feeling about this. But this one apparently had a good feeling. That was funny. But overall, like I said, I didn't mind it, but the Darth Maul thing was really stupid. And like I said, they do like a betrayal and a betrayal. Like, everybody's basically betraying you at the end of the movie. And I thought that was kind of dumb. Maybe that was supposed to be, like, again, maybe that was supposed to be what they were kind of aiming for. Like, when Han gets told at one point that, you know, don't really trust anyone kind of thing. You know, okay. And it makes sense, like the chick that he goes with, so Amelia, I don't know, I can't remember her character name in the movie. The funny thing about that was, though, is like he gets away, and then he kind of like basically enlists to the Empire, and he's gonna come back for her. But we don't really find out what she's been doing the whole time, but now it looks like she's been basically some type of killer or like assassin or something, because she takes out like basically the big fucking drug lord at the end of the movie, which is again like just a kind of random thing. Like, it easily could have went either way, and the fact that she just killed him off and then flew off with the ship, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna call Darth Maul. Like, I can't get past the Darth Maul thing. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't even know what he would need these items for. But like I said, overall, like a visually appealing movie, you know. And it had a couple great moments where, you know, it really shined for what it was. And again, it's a Han Solo film, so I'm not expecting Sith and shit like that. So to see that was a little odd. But overall, like I said, it's definitely not a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. And I would still recommend it to anybody that wants to see it, because it still keeps up with Star Wars films. But you'll just have to definitely keep in mind that when you watch it, that you're gonna be in for a treat in that sense, because you're gonna have to make sure you realize, like, you know, it's not as good as the originals. Let's say that. But anyway, well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you folks thought. Orlando, that he meets him, and he wins over the Millennium Falcon at the end. I thought that was interesting. He's an interesting character in the film. And there's a female droid with him. God, I forget her name already too. It's like K3 or something stupid. I didn't really like the character. Like, it was just a noisy female that was just screaming and yelling most of the time. I wasn't really digging that. I have to be completely honest, I really wasn't. So she ended up getting killed off, and then they integrate her with the Millennium Falcon at the end of it. Kind of like to keep her alive in a sense, but also to navigate to get through the Kessel Run. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I was like, whatever. Like, you know, I'm not gonna argue it. I mean, I'll take it as it is. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Go check out the movie though. It is pretty good, and we're gonna finish with the puppy. The puppy. Okay. All right. We'll finish with that. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.